तो आप सब पहली बार सीएस पाठशाला का कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग ट्रेनिंग अटेंड कर रहे हैं कि पहले कर चुके हैं? आप अनम्यूट करके भी बात कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। इज दिस द फर्स्ट टाइम यू आर
First
अटेंडिंग
time, ma'am. We are
द
attending first
Yes,
time.
yes, ma'am.
फर्स्ट
First time.
पहली बार? ओके। और कॉन्फ्रेंस किस किसने अटेंड किया था? कॉन्फ्रेंस अटेंड किया था क्या, सीटीएस ऑनलाइन या इधर आके?
मैम मैंने की थी।
आपने की थी? हाँ जी।
यस मैम।
जी मैम।
हाँ, आपका मुझे याद है।
जी मैम।
मैडम मैं भी थी, निधि
आप भी थे?
अड़लकर।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। तो हम हिंदी और इंग्लिश मिक्स में ट्रेनिंग रखें तो चलेगा?
जी मैम।
चलेगा
जी मैम।
है
हाँ
ना? तो
हाँ।
फिर वो समझ
Okay,
में
ma'am.
आएगा, है ना? और अगर किसी को कोई दिक्कत आए ना, तो आप अनम्यूट करके नहीं तो चैट बॉक्स में डाल दीजिए कि मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, आप रिपीट करो, या है ना, जो भी होगा। क्योंकि जबकि हम ये ट्रेनिंग ऑनलाइन ले रहे हैं, एग्जैक्टली इन पर्सन ट्रेनिंग के साथ रहेगा। Yeah, okay. So we will do a mix of English and Hindi because there are some teachers who are not so comfortable in English. So I will make sure that, and all my slides are in English. So I think it will be a good mix. Okay. So in case anybody does not understand any point, you can please tell me and I can repeat it in another language. Is that okay? चलेगा
Yes,
ना?
ma'am.
Done.
यस मैम।
ठीक है। अरे and that's why I'm saying, in case you don't understand anything, please stop me, because today is the first session we are going to do. Next week we'll do one more session. कहीं पे भी ऐसा नहीं है कि I have to finish this much content today. So do not worry. You know, if you have questions, we have Geeta Gormade also from Make a Group of Schools. She'll also be there to answer any questions you may have. They have been implementing CS Pathshala curriculum for now nearly 5 years. So she can also share her experience. ठीक है, so I think 1 minute. Okay, a very good afternoon to all of you, and let us start. And we will conduct this first session up to 4:30. So what I'll do is I will have some content for an hour, and then we will open it for question answers. But even in between, if you have any question, please raise your hand. You can put in the chat box. You can unmute and ask. And this is going to be activity based. So we will do an activity and then we will see how that links to computational thinking. Okay. So even before I start, I want to ask you, what do you think is computational thinking? Anybody? आपको क्या लगता है कि computational thinking यानी क्या?
It's a thought process.
It's a thought process. Okay. एक मिनट, आपकी आवाज नहीं आई. What were you saying? Sorry.
I say computational thinking having a 5 main elements like analysis, decomposition, abstraction, algorithm, and pattern recognition.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else? हिंदी में कोई बोलना चाहेगा व्हाट इज कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग? हाँ जी, बोलो. कोई बतलाना चाहेगा व्हाट डू दे थिंक इज कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग?
मैडम
जी
कंप्यूटेशनल
मैम।
थिंकिंग के हिसाब से वो भाषा है जो कि कंप्यूटर इस्तेमाल करता है, जो कि अगर उसके कोई प्रॉब्लम आए तो उसे सॉल्व करने के लिए वो स्टेप्स फॉलो करेगा, और कैसे उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेगा, वही मेथडोलॉजी हम लोग हमारे प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए इस्तेमाल करेंगे, जिसमें डिकम्पोजिशन आता है, एब्स्ट्रैक्शन, बाद में पैटर्न रिकॉग्निशन और अल्गोरिथमिक थिंकिंग आता है। तो उसी हिसाब से हम लोग हमारे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे।
करेक्ट करेक्ट, वेरी गुड।
Madam, I
ठीक है,
think computational
हाँ बोलो।
thinking is a mental process,
हाँ
and it actually also strengthens our thinking of process, which begets new thinking, and
ओके,
sometimes this process leads to new innovation.
यस वेरी गुड। एनीबडी एल्स?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
may
computational thinking is the
या,
approach of problem solving, systematic approach of solving any problem. Instead
करेक्ट
of going
करेक्ट
their own way, we will be having a problem solving approach. So it is that only.
करेक्ट, वेरी गुड, बिकॉज इट इज अ सिस्टमैटिक अप्रोच टू प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग। वेरी गुड। एनीबडी एल्स?
ma'am, may I?
या श्योर।
Ma'am, it is a way to learn topics of set of skills and practices for solving complex.
Problems, correct? So if you want to solve a complex problem, then that is a method, right? Okay. Anybody else?
Computational thinking.
Okay. So now, for now, I have just muted everybody so that there is no disturbance. If you have a question or something, you can unmute for that time. तो ताकि ट्रेनिंग में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आए, फॉर नाउ मैंने सबको म्यूट पे रखा है, पर आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं अगर आपको कोई प्रश्न पूछना हो, ठीक है? तो आई विल स्टार्ट विद अ स्मॉल प्रेजेंटेशन। ठीक है, जो लोग CTIS आए थे, all those who were there at CTIS have probably seen these activities. I have intentionally put it there. Okay, so the idea here is to prepare students for the digital age, and who can do it better than you? See, finally, you are the teachers who are in the classroom, who are working with the students. So these were two activities, right? Two unplugged activities which were at CTIS, and I want to tell you a little story. Okay, छोटी सी कहानी बता रही हूँ मैं। अब आई डोंट नो अगर कलमाडी स्कूल से कोई है यहाँ पर है भी कि नहीं, बट in they told me that Sonia, why don't you come to school? So I had gone, and they had given paper cups to all the teachers, and they said that please come up with innovation in your classroom to teach a particular topic. And when I saw, when they all shared their experiences, it was so nice to see that teachers had identified topics which were otherwise difficult to teach, or students found it difficult. And you can see this picture below. This is one of the activities that they had taken, right? And I'm sure all of you know what this is. So this is also step by step instructions to make a particular object, right? So they have used paper folding, and they have given instructions how to do it, right? So I thought it will be nice to show you this. Okay, now typically if you go to schools, right, so we have ICT, right? If you're a computer teacher, then you know what ICT is, but this is what my daughters learned in school, right? So how many keys on a keyboard, how many reserved words in C++, define print statement, all of you ask this and fill in the blanks, expand the following, and even when I was studying computer science, we had to learn the whole history of computers, who made the first computer, generation of computers, everything. And also what we notice is that, in schools, typically we will teach 4 or 5 programming languages, right? But when you teach 4 or 5 programming languages, it is like teaching me Marathi in 5th standard. And then you say, oh, no, Sonia, now Marathi, no. Now you learn Hindi. And then you say, no, Hindi, no. Now you learn Spanish. And then you learn German, right?
मनोज कुमार स्पीकिंग।
Okay, so that becomes a problem, right? And there is a fixed set of programs that our students do in school. We need to bring about this change. We, as in all of us, the teachers who are there with us, we need to bring the science into computing, right? Okay, so I already asked you what is computational thinking. Okay, so I'm so happy with the answers I got. So computational thinking is not just programming and use of technology, but it is much beyond that, right? आप लोगों ने ही बोला कि कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग विचार करने की एक प्रक्रिया है, राइट? प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने की प्रक्रिया. सो there are teachers who said it is a systematic approach to problem solving. You can break down, once you solve the problem, you can break down the solution into small steps that a computer can execute. One of the teachers had said that also. And another thing I want to tell you, that computational thinking is one of the top skills that will be required by 2025. We are not far from 2025, right? It is next year. So they are saying critical thinking and analysis, complex problem solving is a skill that will be required, right? And all of you, I'm sure, are aware of NEP 2020. So NEP 2020 has also now included problem solving and computational thinking, right? Another thing I want to tell you, that this is fundamental for all. It is for all our students. It is not for just students who are going to do computer science, right? So honestly tell me, problem solving, the first thing you get up in the morning, you start with problem solving. You agree or disagree? सुबह उठते ही हम कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम सुलझा रहे होते हैं, करेक्ट? We wake up to a problem most of the time, right? And we know that we have to find a solution to that problem, and sometimes you will know of a existing solution of a simple problem, so you will be able to apply it. But I will come to that a little later. Okay, now just because some of you are attending this program for the first time, so CSPathshala is an ACM India education initiative which we started in 2016, and we are all volunteers. Okay, so this is a number that I have put, but we are far beyond that. So we say 800,000 students, but I think we are far beyond that. So we have actually stopped counting now. And in Tamil Nadu, if you see the Tamil Nadu SCRT textbook, then it is part of the math textbook. And we have trained over 20,000 teachers. So the curriculum and content, right? So we have unplugged, that is teaching computing without the use of computers. So अगर आपके पास computer नहीं है, आप फिर भी computational thinking पढ़ा सकते हैं, right? And I will walk you through the teaching aids. So the teaching aids contain a PowerPoint presentation, a lesson plan, and a student worksheet. I will show you what it is. CSPathshala content is also part of a book by Cambridge University Press. Then there is some content in CBSE textbook. Okay, so we are working with various state governments, but that is just for your knowledge. Okay, what do you see in this slide? Who's going to tell me? इस स्लाइड में क्या दिखाई पड़ रहा है? Anybody can tell me. What do you see here in this slide?
Different kinds of games.
Pardon me?
Ma'am, kई types के.
Different kind of games.
Different kinds of games, yes.
Mute पे ही है ना?
Snake and ladder.
Snake and ladder. What else do you see?
मैम ये सारे visual impaired बच्चों के friendly games हैं.
Yeah, what else can you see?
And pattern of the game.
Patterns, okay. So I was telling you na in the previous slide, unplug, teaching computing without computers. All these activities that are in the slide were the unplugged activities, are some of the unplugged activities which were there at CTIS this year, right? तो जो लोग कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए आए थे, आई एम श्योर आप ये गेम्स खेल कर गए, राइट?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
wanted to show you here was that teachers have gone beyond the CS Pathshala curriculum and used it to teach other topics as well, right? So I think one of you mentioned it was snakes and ladder. But what is different here? How do you use computational thinking skills to play these games? Okay? Everybody with me till here? Anybody has any questions? Okay. So if you were here at CTIS, you can see and spot yourself here, okay? So this is a group photo that we had, and this was taken on the second day. On the first day, we were even many more people. Okay. So in CS Pathshala, we have two CT platforms. One is Babe Race Challenge. I will talk about Babe Race Challenge a little later. But also the second platform is CTIS, that is the Computational Thinking in Schools Conference. And why is CTIS important? Can I have at least one or two teachers who came to CTIS share their experience? कोई है क्या जो अपना experience share करेगा CTIS का? Anybody? Anybody who came to CTIS? You could have come as a participant. You could have come as a presenter. Anybody wants to unmute and share your experience?
Yes, ma'am. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I have presented my project there in CTIS in fourth conference. So it was
Okay.
a really a
Can you
wonderful.
tell us your name and your school name, please?
Yes, I am Mrs. Sailika Shalkar, School of Scholars, Yavatmal.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. Ma'am, I have presented a project. My paper was on one of the project which was given as EVS subject, and it was
Okay.
for grade 4 students, and they have one of the topic there, physical features of India. So, according to the one of the task sheet was shared with the students, step by step the project I have shared with them, and as per my instructions, they have made the model of that physical features, and they were able, because it was presented in different steps. The procedure was there. First of all, I made them aware about the shapes and patterns according to their observations. They have drawn, one activity was conducted, they have drawn that patterns in their notebooks, and afterward uh, I had given them the instructions about to find out the shapes, different shapes of the landforms. What are the landforms? List of the landforms, and according to their observation, they have created all these things. And then one questionnaire was there for them. I have made the questionnaire. Afterward, it was instructed them to make their own models. So according to these tips, whatever the instructions were given them in the classroom, the students were able to create their own models. And the last step was that for that I have to collect the abstract, then design pattern recognition. These activities I have conducted in the classroom itself. And that time it was the pandemic, so online everything was going
Online.
on. I
Yeah.
was unable to contact with the student directly, but the response was really good. As per the instructions they started, and they have really created wonderful models by using the raw material which was available at their home, because the
Correct.
students were
Correct.
not able to go to market and purchase the things. So I have seen the different models when they have shared with me in the classroom. It was really made from the clay. They have used the different grains from their home, cotton, and whatever the waste material was there with them, they have used, and they have created these models by recognition of the patterns, and then they were able to arrange all these physical features in on the map of India. This was the project. So within 6 to 7 days, it was conducted with all these tasks were given to them. but yet definitely I have the challenges also there. I faced the challenges because it was the online classes. So I was not able to reach to each and every students. But still I got the very positive response for this. So this was my project I have presented in that fourth number conference.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saili. So
Thank you.
I think Saili made a very important point, right? CT was used for teaching EVS. So before I said anything, Saili has said. So thank you so much, Saili. Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to share? Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am, may I?
Yes, sure.
Ma'am, I also share my experience with the class 6. Actually, I give the 6th standard assignment. I teach chapter computational thinking, and I give the one assignment to point of global warming, and they able to make a assignment like computational thinking using the 5 elements key. They are making own uh, analysis, decomposition pattern, all the points they are using, and they are also able to create a convert into the algorithm flowchart.
Okay,
So
great.
that's great. Their student able to do all the points correctly, and they are also able to convert the all the points into the flowchart, algorithm flowchart.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Vaishali. So I want to, Vaishali has made a very important point, okay? So what she's trying to say is that we are not only teaching children to follow instructions, but also allowing them to devise an algorithm. Got it? That is very important. So thank you so much. Is there anybody else? Kritika, you want to share? Or is Geeta there? Geeta can share. Kritika, you want to share?
I just want to say that the teachers are the real heroes and heroines. Yeah, they just got the essence of what computational thinking is and bringing it into the classroom with a lot of variations, and they have, like, within a short period of time they could understand the concept and getting that in the project and all these things. We also encourage other teachers also to make this as a practice and then try it out in their classrooms, and for next CTIS we would wish a lot of
Many more. Yeah. All of you to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kritika. So I will go back to my presentation and bore you a little more. Right? If you get bored, you have to tell me. Just raise your hand. We will do an activity. Okay? So that's where we are. So I hope all of you have a pen and paper. And our next activity is that can you draw any quadrilateral? Okay? Can each one of you draw a quadrilateral? Kritika, you want to give more instructions for that?
Yeah, so any quadrilateral, as Sonia has suggested, like you can draw any quadrilateral on your paper. It is beyond like a square and a rectangle, all these things. You can think of any quadrilateral. Not necessary that it should be square.
Kritika asked, everybody knows what is a quadrilateral, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody does not know what is quadrilateral? आप में से कोई बताएगा हिंदी में क्वाड्रिलेटरल को क्या बोलते हैं? मुझे तो नहीं पता. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं क्वाड्रिलेटरल को? Anybody? Four-sided figure.
चतुर्भुज.
चौकोन.
Yeah. So any four-sided 2D figure.
चौरस.
Chorus. Correct. ठीक है, ड्रॉ किया? तो
Yes, ma'am.
जिनका
We have drawn.
you have drawn, Okay. Kritika, what do you want them
Okay.
to do next?
So now, could you please cut it into different triangles? Cut the figure into different triangles. You know triangle, what triangle is, right? Like three-sided figure.
कोई करके
Done, ma'am.
दिखाएगा? Can anybody show it? Who's done it? Who has done it? Priyanka, have you done it? Who's done it?
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka has done it?
I am also done, ma'am.
Would you
Can
like
you
to
tell
show
me your
your...
name now so I can spotlight you? Who has done it?
Ma'am, Priyanka.
Rajalakshmi.
Huh?
Priyanka.
Rajalakshmi. 1 minute. Okay, Rajalakshmi is showing it. Kritika, can you see it?
Yeah, good. Is it a quadrilateral, you will call it as? Okay.
It is a concave quadrilateral.
Yeah. So now, any of you can show a different quadrilateral?
Yeah, tell me your name, I'll spotlight you. Who else has done? Priyanka, right?
Good, Rajlakshmi. Yeah.
Priyanka, are you showing?
I'm showing now.
There's only one Priyanka, no? Priyanka Gaikwad, right?
Ma'am, Priyanka Yerkude.
Okay, 1 minute. Sorry.
Great. So now, can you cut this further into different triangles? Will that be possible?
Priyanka, can you cut it? Show her, show us. Hey, Manisha is also showing. Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Can you try
Manisha is
cutting it
also.
further?
Kritika, see, Manisha is also. I've
Hi,
spotlighted
Manisha.
hers.
Yeah. So could you please try cutting it further into different triangles? This is not enough, I think.
ma'am.
Can you try cutting it into some more triangles? Some more triangles?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, I have
Gurdeep.
drawn this. Ma'am, I'm Shraddha. I have drawn
Shraddha,
this.
wait.
Yeah, some more. I want some more.
Shraddha, no, wait.
Ma'am, I am done.
Yeah, Priyanka,
Sure.
could you please try some more? Is that enough? Can you try some more with some more triangles?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
can do.
please.
Yes.
Shraddha
Yes.
is showing.
Yes, Kuldeep, could you
Yes,
please try
ma'am.
some more?
Ma'am, yes.
Yes,
For
Kuldeep,
a
could you
moment.
please try some more? Is
For a
that
moment,
enough for you?
ma'am.
We can draw many.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
that's
These
the point.
two triangles are there. Ma'am, these two triangles are there. And now if I am making this,
Participants,
ma'am, this also.
Yes.
Can you see Shraddha's here?
Yeah, Shraddha.
This also.
Yes.
This also.
Yeah. Then further, can you do it? Can you do it further?
Yes, ma'am. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be great. One of you show your screen and then let others observe you. Yeah. Shraddha?
This is. Yes,
Shraddha,
ma'am.
could you? Yeah. Yeah, Kuldeep. Could you please further break it down?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying.
Kuldeep, show yours now, na?
Yes.
Ah,
Could you
can you
please
see?
further break it
Ma'am,
down?
this again.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll
This
spotlight
again.
you. 1 minute.
I have drawn this line in the middle.
1 minute. Wait, Shraddha, I'll just
back camera.
spotlight you. Anybody else wants to show? Any other teachers want to show us?
Yes, ma'am. Bridendra.
Yeah.
I like what Basan Goda has done. Wait.
Bridendra Yadav.
Yeah, see this. Can you see, Kritika?
Yeah. Could you please further break it down, Basana Gouda? Is there any possibility that you can think of? Can you please further break it down into different triangles?
Yes, ma'am.
Please try.
Okay, madam, I can do. Both, madam.
Ma'am, we can do one more.
Yes.
Okay, madam.
Ma'am, it can
One
also
more?
be possible like this.
One more or some
This-
more or many more?
One more.
Ma'am, many more वैसे
Many
तो.
more, many more.
Many more from it.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the point.
Yes, many
See here,
more.
Basana Gaura, could you please break it down further?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
This also. Then if we will extend this line, this also. It is
Great.
not in proper,
Yeah.
not in proper way. But
Great. Can
if
you
we
please,
will,
means,
if we will extend this line, so we can draw more.
yes, that's the point here. So the thing is that anything that you take, you can break it in. All these are, means what we'll call it as like, for computational thinking, the basic idea is that you will have to think about different strategies to solve the problem. So see, if you think that quadrilateral is one problem, and you can break it down into smaller solvable chunks, how much ever you can. See, for example, even in this quadrilateral, different quadrilateral were there. But the idea is that you have the only problem statement is that you have to break it down into triangles. See how many possible variations are there. See here, Brajendra Yadav, see how many triangles are that he is bringing out. See?
And he's actually demonstrating, so I thought let me spotlight him.
Yeah. Yes.
Rajendra, बहुत ही बढ़िया.
Yes.
And he's chosen two colors.
Yeah, you can even cut it down further, right?
Yes, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is the thing. Like the thing is that we have to think about decomposing it. And also the computation. Where is this computation coming from? So computation comes from like manipulating how many possible solutions are there for the problem. So if you take a quadrilateral, how many possible triangles can you bring out of it? That is the path that we take in terms of computational thinking. So yeah, great. Yes. So the thing is that we will just keep on breaking the complex problems into smaller solvable chunks, and the idea behind it, and then we will manipulate on like how many possible solutions are there for this problem. So when we think along those lines, that we call it as decomposition. Computational thinking in terms of decomposition. So yeah, this is just the part of computational thinking. So means I would like to hear from you about your experience and your takeaways about this activity. Would any of you would like to share about it?
Yeah, please share, because I think when Kritika said, right, she just said, Sonia, put one line on the slide and say, ask them to draw any quadrilateral. Okay. But when I saw people's quadrilaterals, what did you all see? What kind of quadrilateral most people drew? क्या देखा आप लोगों ने? मैक्सिमम लोगों ने कैसा क्वाड्रिलेटरल बनाया? कौन सा बनाया? हाँ जी? Square. A lot of people made squares, okay. Because that is how you perceive it, right? Kritika, that is how they perceived a quadrilateral. But the first teacher had a very different quadrilateral, right?
Yeah.
So can you share what came to your mind when she said draw a quadrilateral? And then when she said draw triangles, what came to your mind? कौन share करेगा? Anybody can share. Yeah, see, the whole idea here is to have a conversation. Even if we don't show. Pardon me?
Four-sided polygon.
Any four-sided. Yeah, so
Madam, the volume is too low. Can't hear clearly.
We can, Kritika, I can hear you. It is that teacher's volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is that like when we asked like a quadrilateral, you came up with the different kinds of quadrilateral. And then when I said that it should not be restricted to only squares and rectangles, then there are so many variations in it, right? So like I wanted to know from your point of view, what is the what kind of thinking that went into your mind and what kind of learning that you can think about in terms of this activity? Even if a person who doesn't know the area of any quadrilateral, but they will sure understand what is the area of the triangle, right? So they can relate it easily. So like will it be giving confidence in any child that who knows the area of the triangle can solve the area of quadrilateral? Do you think that it is possible? Am I audible? Yeah. Shubham, would you want to unmute and talk?
Find the area of triangles which are present in the quadrilateral, we can easily add them one by one and we get the area of particular quadrilateral. So that is the main thing. If we cut that quadrilateral in the different triangles, so combined, if we find the area of that triangle, we can get the area of that quadrilateral. So it is one of the way to find out if we don't know the formula of that quadrilateral or the area of that quadrilateral, that how to find the area. So by giving such a simple or some decomposition of that quadrilateral in the form of triangles, we can easily calculate the area of that particular triangle.
Great. So yeah, means in terms of the children, like it will give confidence also, right?
If the particular child is meritorious, it also depends on the merit of the child. If the child is meritorious, he can easily solve that problem. But if that child is less meritorious, he will have to be guided.
Could you please elaborate on your point, please?
Actually, this sort of thinking is computational thinking, particularly solving the problem of this quadrilateral or that kind of triangle. If the child is meritorious, he can solve it easily. But if one is less meritorious, he needs some sort of guidance.
If the child probably is not able to understand, is what he's saying, then they will need guidance to do it.
If the child is meritorious, well, there are some slow learners also in a class.
Yes, correct.
There is a heterogeneous group. If the learner is slow, then he or she will be some sort of under the need of some sort of guidance.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing is that this is just an example. You can also think about expanding it based on the context of the child.
Yeah,
so the thing is that whatever the child knows, based on that, we'll build on it. For example, if the child knows the area of that triangle, then we can ask the child to think about the areas of quadrilateral by breaking into triangle, which the child knows. So it is like known to unknown, which is what we learn in any educational theories, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just an example, but based on the child's context, we have to think about different activities. This is assuming that since it is like the teacher's platform, so we have given us this simple exercise, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody would like to add it? Means what about the fear of solving problem? Or confidence in solving problem?
Now, if a child is kept on solving problem regularly, he or she will be able to gain confidence. But this practice should continue.
Yeah. So this is what the computational thinking is, like training the mind to think in terms of solving the problems using different strategies.
Mental training is absolutely necessary.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Sonia, I mean, shall we move on to the next or should we?
No, I was just thinking that do any of the teachers have any points to share? Anybody else wants to say anything? Otherwise, we can go ahead. We have a lot of math teachers also here.
Yeah, math teachers, please share.
Yeah, math teachers, what did you think of this activity? And I think Sir made a very important point, Kritika, that even when we are doing activities, we have to be conscious of the level of the students in our class.
Yeah.
So I think that is very, very important. So thank you, Sir, for raising that point. And as you go along, as you will see the content, that is why we say that we follow the systematic approach to problem solving so that all children understand. Okay, so should we go ahead? Yeah. Okay.
Geeta, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, Geeta is there, no?
Sorry,
Okay,
I was out of the meeting, so I don't know what you are asked.
Geeta, just unmute, no? Because there were too many mics on.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
because here there is a connectivity issue.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay. So we'll just go ahead to the next activity. Yeah, so everybody is with us still here, right? So Kritika, I'll move ahead. Yeah. So I hope all of you who did not show us your quadrilateral still drew them. But in case anybody has any questions, you can always ask us. Okay, so the other thing I want to ask you is that when we were talking, today computational thinking is across A to Z. You cannot say it is only for computer science. And I feel more importantly, how do we prepare students for this future? Right? So that is why, we feel one of the most important things is building teacher skills. Okay. So why are we having this teachers training program is to help you change your mindset so that, you can train your students to develop the ability to solve problems, explore multiple solutions to solve the problem. So that's why when Kritika said she would take this activity, I thought let's take this activity before this slide because Kritika also allowed all of you to draw a quadrilateral of your choice. She could have easily said everybody draw a square or everybody draw a rectangle and then do it, right? But she left the choice to you. And also after that, when you started drawing triangles, she didn't say make two diagonals, then do that, right? She left it to you. Right? There was one teacher who took two colored pens, one red, one blue, right? So what did she do? She allowed you to choose. And another thing that I wanted to demonstrate through this activity was spend time, allow children to explore, not be in a hurry. अभी कर लिया चलो जल्दी कर लो, right? So give children time to think, allow them to understand the problem and solve it, right? It's very important. So one of the important things that we do is conduct these interactive sessions, impart CT knowledge, problem solving and logical reasoning. Why did Kritika ask that question, right? Kritika asked you that, so what did you learn from it? And that is when we start reasoning, right? And we spoke about systematic approach. And I showed you the slides earlier, right? On creativity and local adaptation. I will show you more slides on that. And of course, designing questions. Okay. Now, do you want to play a trick? Does everybody want to do a magic trick? Yes or no? Are you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you say
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
huh?
ma'am.
If you say no, I'll listen to you. I will not do it. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll do it. Take it.
Space, you are unmuted. This meeting is being live streamed. It's also being transcribed. Not anyone with access to the live stream or transcript may view or share them with others. Okay, you are unmuted. Candice Aquani has left the meeting.
Please.
Vishali Deshmukh has left the meeting. Vishali.
Hey, whose mic is on? Kritika, I'll just make you co-host.
Okay.
Because
Who attacker has left the meeting?
hey, there is somebody who's talking in between, yeah.
Space. Speech on demand.
They have switched.
No, ma'am, this is a screen reader is speaking.
Oh, okay, no. Oh,
Someone's
no,
screen reader is speaking.
yeah, Alok Bal. Yeah, ठीक. Okay. Somebody's screen reader is speaking. You're right. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and what I want you to do is help me by filling 4 rows and 4 columns with 1 and 0. Whatever you say, I will fill. If you say fill 1 here, I'll fill 1 here. If you say 0, I'll fill 0. Tell me, what should I fill? What should I put here, 1 or 0? Anybody can tell me one. Somebody unmute and tell me what should I. 0. 0. Okay.
0, ma'am.
Okay. Then after that,
1.
1.
1. Okay. Then
9.
no, 0 or 1. Only 2 numbers, 0 or 1.
1.
1. Okay. Then
0, ma'am.
0. Okay. Now here
1.
1. Okay. Then
1.
0.
0. Okay.
1.
0. 1. Okay. Sorry. My bad. 1. Then 1.
Ma'am, it's
Okay.
ready.
Third row
0.
0. Then
0.
1. 0. Okay. 0. Then
1. 1.
1. Then
1.
0.
1. Okay. Somebody said 0, so I'll put the 0 here. Okay. Then what?
1.
0.
1. Okay. 0. What should I put here? 0?
0.
Okay,
0.
0.
Yes, ma'am.
Then 1.
1.
Okay, so you have created a 4 by 4 grid for me. Now I'm going to make it a little more difficult by making it 5 by 5. Okay. This is very easy for me. So I'm just going to make it a little more difficult for me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, everybody has seen it now. Now it's difficult, okay? Now I'm going to stop sharing screen and I'm going to change one number. And then you have to guess which number did I change, okay? Will you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me share my screen. This is so much more fun in person, but this is also okay, right? We can make do with this. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Who's going to tell me which number I changed? Which number did I change?
Thank you. Yeah.
I can't hear you. Which number?
E4, madam.
E4.
E4.
Okay, why do you think it's E4?
Actually, ma'am, other numbers are in the even format. Only this is in odd format.
Okay, so, okay, sir is saying that. Okay, anybody else? Sir, what's your name?
Suraj Jaiswal from Yotmal.
Suraj Yavatmal. Okay. Okay. Suraj Jaiswal says E4. Anybody else?
Ma'am, ma'am, it's ready.
Sorry.
Okay. Somebody is trying to talk, but we can't hear her.
C4.
C4. Okay. Why C4? Somebody said E4, somebody saying C4. Why?
Because now the sum of that line, that row is 3. Before it was
Okay.
4.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
active
Okay,
at
very
C4.
good.
Sorry.
Okay, okay. So now to help everybody else, right? To help everybody else, what we'll do is we'll count the number of, what were you all counting? You were counting the number of ones, right? You were taking the sum, whatever you call it. So how many ones here? In this row, how many ones are there?
Two.
Two
Two.
rows. Two one.
Okay.
Two.
Two. Next row?
Two.
Two.
Next. Two. Okay. Next row?
Four.
Four.
Four. Okay. This one?
Three.
Three.
Three. Okay. This one?
Two.
Two.
Two. Here? This column?
Two.
Two.
Four.
Four. Okay.
One.
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 Two.
Two. Four.
Four.
Four. Okay. So the teacher was absolutely right. So the teacher was absolutely right. It's C4. Okay. I'm just going to highlight it for your benefit. Okay. So this row has a problem because the number of ones is odd, right? For all the others is even. And this column has a problem, right? So the intersection of the two, this is the cell that I had changed. Got it? I had changed this. And to tell you what did I do earlier, you helped me fill these four, right? Correct? Then I said, oh, this is very easy. So I am going to increase the difficulty level. And what did I go and do? I counted the number of ones very quickly. So even when you're doing it in the class, you have to be very, very fast. Okay. Now, just for the benefit, I'll just undo it so that we can just redo. Okay. See, what had happened was that I will remove this also. Okay. This is what you gave me. Then what did I say? You have given me 4 by 4. I'm going to make it more difficult. I'm going to make 5 by 5. So I put a 1 here because I saw in this row, the number of ones was odd. Then here, the number of ones is even. So I put 0. Here, it is odd. That's why I put 1. Here, it's odd. I put 1. Okay. Here, it's even. So I put 0. Here, it's odd. So I put 1, 0, 0. And then because again here it's odd, I put 1. And then what did I go? I have quietly removed share screen and I made this 0. And then I asked you which number I had changed, right? So then you all told me that it was C4 and that is why we calculated the number of ones, which was 2, 2, 4. Then when we came here, it was 3. That means there was some gadbad here. Problem idhar hi hai, right? Then you knew that 4th row mein gadbad hai. Then we came to this one. The number of ones is even, no problem. Here also number of ones is 2, which is even. Right? Here it's 4. Then it came to 1. We knew the problem is here. Right? And the intersection is where the problem lies. Right? So this is why it is called magic trick. I don't have any magic, okay? This is basically logical reasoning. So I will go back to my slides and I will show you another example. Okay? And I want you to solve this. Can all of you see it? It's a mug collection. Can I request one of the teachers to read it? Somebody can read it.
We are not able to see it, Sunil.
We are not
1
able
minute,
to
you
see
can
it,
see it?
ma'am.
Okay, wait, I'll share my screen again. Probably because of that, I was sharing the Excel. No? 1 second. Sorry. 1 second. No? Can you see it now? Kritika, can you see it now?
Yeah. Mug collection.
Mug collection. Kritika, you want to read it, or is there any teacher volunteering to read it? Anybody else wants to read it? Otherwise, I can request Kritika to read it. Hey, all of you teachers talk so much in the class. No, I feel scared when I have to take a session.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead. Please.
Okay. Mug collection. Kittu the paper as a collection of mugs from cities around the world. She has classified them according to the color and the continent that each mug came from. Her naughty little brother Mangu changed just one of the numbers while Kittu was taking a nap. The result is in the table below. Can you find out the number changed by Mango and correct it? A question. No one can find out the changed number. Kittu should classify the mugs again. B. The number of yellow mugs from North America should be 1. C. The number of the yellow mugs from Europe should be 0. D. The number of the green mugs from North America should be 2.
Okay. Thank you so much. Who's going to tell us the answer?
Option D. North America,
Option D.
the total is 7, but it is written 6.
Okay. Correct. Correct. You have got it, right? So for the benefit of the others, I will still show the answer because, some of them may not have got it. See, can you see? The problem was that if you saw row Asia, the sum is 7. You saw Europe, correct, 6. You saw North America, it is 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, and 1, 7, right? But the total should be 6. So the problem lies in this row, right? And South America is 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. Africa, there's only 1 mug. Australia, there is 4 mugs, all correct. Then we go to the column, right? Then we count 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4. That is correct. Yellow, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 4, 5, 6, 7 is correct. When we come to green, we see 1 plus 3 is 4, 6, 7, and it is 6. That means this column is a problem. So this row and this column is a problem. If you see blue and brown also, total is correct. Right? So if you add the number of mugs for each group, you can find out that there is something wrong in the row North America and the column green because the totals are wrong. Right? So if you compare the sums that you get shown in the table, then you find that both the sums is 1 less than the recorded total numbers. Therefore, it should be 2. If we make this 2, then this will become 6 and this will also become 6. Okay. So what I showed you was a Babris task. So I will come to what is Babris later, but this is simple task that can be solved using logical reasoning, does not require any computational thinking. Okay. Now, I want you to understand that what computational thinking did we use? Right? So I didn't use, you used. You looked for patterns in the number of ones and zeros, right? You told me that it is C4 because you were looking at the ones and the zeros. Now, how did we solve it? We went back and we broke down the table into parts, right? I checked the rows to check for the number of ones, right? Then I checked the columns for the number of ones. That is how you got it. Now, if I ask all of you to write down the logical steps that were used to solve this problem, that means we are writing an algorithm, right? Everybody with me till here? And what is generalization? Once you knew how to solve that, it did not take you even 1 minute to solve this problem, right? Because you knew you had existing knowledge and you were able to identify the pattern that can be used to solve a similar problem, and that's how you solved it. And for the maths teachers here, you should be very happy because students automatically revisit the concept of odd and even numbers, correct? So this is something that requires you to use basic mathematics, right? Very basic. Now, for computer science, there was one teacher who very quietly said this is parity bit, right? Who said that? There's one teacher I heard very quietly say it. Was somebody in the, in the training. किसी ने बहुत धीरे से बोला ना parity bit है ये. अरे बोला था तो एक्सेप्ट करने का बोला, आप तो क्लास में आगे थे, है ना? तो बेसिकली मैंने क्या किया, व्हाट आई डिड वाज, जब मैंने वंस एंड जीरोस ऐड किए, सो आई एडेड अ पैरिटी बिट टू ईच रो एंड ईच कॉलम, राइट? एंड आई वांट टू आस्क यू, okay, I'm going to stop sharing screen for some time because I think it's better to talk about this. That first thing, what did we do? आपने क्या किया? You found the mistake, right? आपने गलती कहाँ है उसे खोजा, right? You found the mistake. So that is called error detection. और फिर हमने उसको करेक्ट किया. जब आपने मग कलेक्शन देखा तो आपने उसको करेक्ट किया. So when you saw mug collection, you knew that for North America and green, the brother had changed the mugs, right? Got it? So what did you do? You did error detection and then you did error correction. इसका कोई और एग्जाम्पल मुझे बताएगा क्या? Anybody? हाँ, कौन बतलाएगा? कौन बताएगा? बताओ ना. आप लोग रिपोर्ट कार्ड लिखते हैं ना, तो कभी पंचिंग में क्या होता है? बोर्ड एग्जाम के रिजल्ट्स आते थे, राइट? You know, this was couple of years back, right? The math mark will come as 58 and then the child will be sobbing because the child is very good in mathematics. But it was actually 85 or it is 90 and it got punched in as 09. What will happen? You failed me. I'll be so upset. I will be crying, right? So then this is, what is this? You have to detect. Supposing Kritika is there and Kritika says, Sonia, send me 500 rupees. Okay. Instead of 500, 5,000 goes into her account. She'll be very happy, but I will be very sad. Right? So these are techniques in error detection. And it is not only error detection, it is also error correction. Right? Okay, now tell me, how many of you go, abhi to kya, if you go to any small supermarket also, they have a scanner, right? And wait, I will bring a biscuit packet. Just give me a minute. I know it is chai time, right? So, what biscuit is it? कौन सा बिस्किट है?
पार्ले जी.
पार्ले जी. सबको मालूम है ना? और उसका बारकोड इधर है, दिखाई दे रहा है?
जी मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody can see the barcode. Now, what ends up happening is, supposing a packet is lying in the store for too long, it becomes dusty. This will become faint. So you will see, when they're scanning, they will wipe it. Because otherwise, instead of Parle G, it will show something else because the barcode is not clear, right? So I will show you in the slide what happens. Okay. So, like I added that extra digit, right? When I was playing the magic trick, the same way there is a check digit added. in the barcode on the product. So if you're at home, you can go and check the check digits. Okay, you'll be able to see it. And also, similarly, last digit of the credit card or barcode on the product. Now, that is what I was saying, that to detect if I have sent 500 or 5,000 to Kritika, right? So, whether the data that she has received is the same that I have sent, if we did not have error detection and correction, there would be these unexpected errors, like long balance in your bank account, too much or too little, wrong grade in the report card, wrong message in the email. So that is why in computer science, error detection and error correction is very important. And I'm being very honest with you. Jabba magic trick, when we make children play the magic trick, na, you don't even have to talk about all this, right? They learn to find the error themselves, right? So you teach them through different activities, and through this activity, you have also taught them all this. You have taught them to find a pattern, you have taught them to decompose, right? Make the problem into smaller parts. You have taught me to write the steps to solve it. You have taught me how to solve another similar problem. You have also revised my concepts of odd and even numbers, right? Now, I will come to CT curriculum, but before that, I want to ask you, does anybody have any questions? Kritika, you want to share something on this? Gita is there.
Yeah, so the essence is like also about observing the pattern. See, for example, in the magic trick that she has shared, like first when we spot out the error, how do we spot out the error? There is a reasoning that needs to be done. So like the essence of it is about logical reasoning. So how do we train the children to logically tell the reason? Because reasons may be of true or false or good reason or all these things. But the thing is that there should be a logic behind it. That is what we want to encourage children to think along those lines. That matters a lot. Only then they will think, okay, if somebody says something, then like logically is this right? If it is like a really like connected to different things, is it fine or not? All these things will come only when we think along the lines of like reasoning it properly. So that's why, like, for example, this is like odd. So how do we pick the odd man out from the group? So there is some logic. So based on the pattern recognition or all these things. So it's such a nice activity that we can try with our children to think along different lines. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Kritika. So my request to you is कि tomorrow in your class you should try magic trick. See, I'll tell you why did I demonstrate it slowly was so that you understand how you can take it to the classroom. And I'm telling you, it works across all ages. You don't even need to tell me. See, when you fill the registration form, I asked you which classes do you teach. It does not matter whether you're teaching 5th standard or 8th standard, 10th standard. See, even if I'm playing it with you, it's fun, right? So the whole idea is to make learning fun also. That is what is computational thinking. It is not about giving them more load. And through this activity, you are able to revisit different concepts that Kritika also spoke about, right? So yeah, thank you, Kritika. So I will just take you to the next slide on CT curriculum so that you get some idea of what the curriculum is all about. So now, if I ask you, right, we can do this even now, right? I can show you the participant list, right? In a class, how many different names starting with each letter? Okay. Now, if you would all be with me in the class, right? I can still do it, but I don't know how will you count the number of A's and tell me. But just for demonstrating it, I will still demonstrate a Word document. I'll just share a Word document and let's see if you can go around it, right? So maybe one of you can look at the Zoom list and tell me how many A's. Maybe Kritika or Geeta, somebody can help me. Okay. So, okay, so we are 186 people on this call, right? Now, supposing I put the alphabet A. Let me increase the font size. So how many people do we have here? So generally what we do is we ask people to raise their hand and then we count the number of A's, right? Now I cannot be doing that while I'm sharing screen. So if Kritika can help me, great. Okay. I'm just showing you how we do systematic listing, and you can try this also in your class. We won't have that much time to do all, but if Kritika can help me with just 1 or 2 alphabets, it'll be great. See, you write all the alphabets down, okay? Okay, just for example. So Kritika, how many A's do you see?
21.
21. Okay, so we have 21 A's.
4B.
4B, okay.
3 C's.
3 C's.
2 D's.
2 D's, okay.
0.
0.
F. Sorry, F also 0.
0.
Oh,
Hey,
2
anybody
G's.
can tell me which alphabet will have maximum numbers? Anybody take a guess? Anybody take a guess which alphabet generally सबसे ज्यादा लोगों के नाम किस अक्षर से शुरू होते हैं? Which one?
B, B, B.
B. B we have only four.
A, ma'am.
Okay. 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 Hey, there are lots of A's here. Aisha, everybody's A, man. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so Kritika, can you check so just to make it faster, can you check the number of people whose name begins with S?
Actually, K has 22, but yeah, they have
Wow.
included
Wow. K has 22. Wow. Hey, that is unexpected. Okay. Nice.
Yes, you want. Okay. P, let me check P.
P.
6.
Hey, you're not allowed to skip alphabets, okay? This is because we are doing online. Kritika and I are doing some cheating. You have to go alphabet wise in your class.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which alphabet we are in?
P, you can tell me P, doesn't matter.
P.
Right now, top scorer is K. 22.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey, y'all can also see participant list and help us, yeah?
Ma'am, I think 22P.
22.
22. Okay, great.
Yeah. Somebody
R
has
and S, somebody tell me R and S now.
Ma'am,
20
S
29
28
S.
I have counted.
Which one?
S 28.
28.
Wow. See,
Nice.
I'm telling you, S is winner. That's why we are S.
Yeah.
Okay, how many are? Kritika was expecting.
16.
I knew something was wrong. Nobody guessed. I told Kritika to count, so Kritika said K is the highest. 999.
Z is only one. Z is only one. Zoom user.
That is one. Okay. Okay.
Zoom
So why?
user.
Yeah, Gita.
Zoom user.
R14.
Zoom user. Oh, Zoom user one. Okay.
R14.
R14. Okay, wait. Let me add.
Y also 1.
Y also one. Okay.
B3.
Okay, no, see, because we have less time, that's why I skipped. Actually, you are supposed to do this activity alphabet by alphabet, okay? That's why systematic approach to problem solving, but because it will take very long, it will be 5 o'clock by the time we finish this. So just for that benefit, we skipped some of the alphabets which we thought will not have too many. But I want you to write A to Z on the board and then count and see how many children's name begins with A? How many children? So, for all of you, this is systematic counting, listing, and reasoning. Systematic counting, listing, and reasoning. See, if once you write A to Z, right, you're systematically listing. I'm not saying K first and F first and P, then some alphabets you'll miss. So, even when I wrote it, I wrote A to Z, right? Because this is a logical order that we are accustomed to. And then you ask children with A to raise their hands, then ask children with B to raise their hands, and C, and so on and so forth. So because Geeta had also told me there will be teachers from 1st to 5th, right? So that's why I wanted to take some simpler activities also, which they will be also able to take to the class immediately tomorrow. Okay. Now, one very simple activity. And in the next session, we'll revisit why they are linked to computational thinking also. But I'm telling you now, thoda. So another thing is, can you give me the different combinations? I'll show you the question also. Okay. So we did just now we did so many different names starting with each letters. Then you can see which letters do not appear, right? Which do not have any names. Like Geeta said, Zoom user. Actually, we don't have a name starting with Z, right? Then similarly, you can do last name. Last name any surnames, right? And most important is how to count so that you don't miss any student. That is why it is systematic counting. Okay. Now I want you to give me how many different pairs of numbers can you give me whose sum is 10? I will share my Word document and you can tell me and I will write also. No worries. So give me combinations of numbers, two numbers whose sum is 10. Who will tell me?
5 plus 5.
1 plus 9.
1 minute,
2
1
plus
minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Give me a second. Somebody said 5 plus 5.
Yes, ma'am.
1
Somebody said
plus
1
9.
plus 9. Okay.
2 plus 8.
6
2
plus
plus
4.
3
8.
plus 7.
6 plus 4.
6 plus
7 plus
4.
3.
7
Let
plus
us
3.
start with 1. Start
8
with
plus
1 ma'am. Plus
8.
10.
Huh?
8 plus 2. 8 plus 2.
8 plus 2.
Ma'am, you have written
Ansula
9
na
plus
kale
2.
tinas.
That will be
1
incorrect.
minute, I'll just reduce the
10
font.
plus 0.
10 plus 0, ma'am.
10 plus 0 लिखूं? 10 plus 0
0.
लिखूं क्या?
0.
एक मिनट. हाँ, क्या लिखूं बोलो? 10 plus 0. ठीक है. और
Yes ma'am.
हो गए क्या? Have we counted all?
Actually, 2 plus 8 means we can remove the third entry. 2 plus 9, we can remove it so that.
Yeah, 1 minute. 2 plus 8. Sorry.
But yeah, the
But we
entry
can
is
remove it.
8 plus
Yeah.
2 is there. 8 plus 2 is
Okay, so there was one teacher who, when everybody was saying, she said, no, we must start with 1. Who was that teacher? That was very important. I'm waiting for the teacher. एक टीचर ने बोला start with 1. Yeah, Priyanka. Can you unmute and tell us how to do this activity?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell us.
I
There's
said,
very
I said to start it with 1 because
correct.
no number should left out. No number should miss out.
Exactly, Priyanka. Very important. So how should I write it now? You tell me.
Then I think I
One.
should then start from 0. 0 plus
Start
10.
from 0. 0
0
plus 10.
1
Okay.
plus
1 plus 9.
1 plus 9.
2 plus 8.
Correct.
3 plus 7. 3
Sorry.
plus
1 second. 3 plus 7.
4 plus 6.
Correct.
5 plus 5.
5 plus 5. Okay. So Priyanka, and there was one more teacher. I heard her talking. So you should also tell me your name, teacher. Very, very important. Systematic approach to problem solving, right? This is a very simple problem, right? But if you saw my question, I had also said, how do we do that so that we don't miss any, correct? Right? How to count so that we don't miss any. How do you know that you have counted all the pairs, right? So thank you, Priyanka, and thank you, the other teacher, because you took us to the path of computational thinking, wherein you told us how we must systematically solve this problem. Right? So this was very good. I will stop now. I want to ask if anybody has any questions, because we had planned this session for 1.5 hours. I don't want to give you too much so that you get bored. And also you should be able to observe what we have done so that the next session I can continue. So this timing is okay, right? So maybe today is also Thursday. So we'll plan the next session similar 3 to 4:30 on Thursday. Yeah. So anybody has a okay, one thing. Did you enjoy the session? वो तो yes no लिख दो या बोल दो. Yes. No भी बोल सकते हैं. No भी बोल सकते हैं.
Yes, ma'am.
नहीं no भी बोल सकते हैं. पता है क्या? क्योंकि इसमें तो चलता है ना, है ना? If you did not enjoy the session, another thing is okay, good. So okay, we are very happy. See, Kritika has all smiles. So Kritika will be with us next Thursday. If you would have said no, she would have said, okay, Sonia, next Thursday I'm not joining. Right? Also, I want to ask you, was it useful? Did you think that, see, I'm telling you the same things you probably already teach in the classroom, right? The only thing that we did was we put it in a different perspective, right? It is not that you don't tell children to draw quadrilateral and say, okay, now draw triangles, right? You do it all the time, right? So, do you think that, you know, when Kritika explained that, right? And I honestly was so happy to see, because there are a lot of people, I could not share everybody's screens, but I was going and seeing. It was so nice to see all of you actually doing it. It is very important for you to do it, right? Because once you do it, tomorrow you can, and I'm sure you can just go to the class and tell, children that, okay. And I'll tell you, there is a lesson also, and now you know, because we are drawing a quadrilateral, but there is a lesson in CSPathshala in which we give instructions to draw a quadrilateral. Okay, and then they will say, draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees, draw another line, turn 90 degrees, then draw another line. Okay, and then it says, okay, join back to the beginning. Just try that activity. Because I have your email IDs, I will send the lesson code to you. You can go through the lesson, and you will see that even when we take it online, people come up with all kind of funny figures, because when we are giving instructions, we may not be precise. I may be ambiguous, and I'm going to ask you a question that today we were connecting online, right? So what did I do? First step, I shared that we are going to have an online teachers training. These are the bullet points that we will cover. And I said, use the link to register, right? Once you register, I created the Zoom account link, and I also shared it with you on email, right? I shared it on the WhatsApp group, and I shared it on email. So there is a step-by-step process that we need to follow, right? So even when we are doing day-to-day activities, we follow the step-by-step process, right? So thank you so much. If you have any questions, Geeta is there, Kritika is there, I am there, you can ask. Any question you may have, please ask. Doesn't matter. Don't feel shy.
Nothing is wrong question.
Okay, okay, I'll tell you, you can even email us on cspathshala@gmail.com and ask. If you don't want to ask now, also no problem. So all of you will join us now next week.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
and another thing is that today's session, we have also sent the recording to YouTube. So in case any of your friends or anybody has missed attending, I will share it. And the reason also to live stream to YouTube is because sometimes you might want to go back and see, oh, what did Kritika say? How did she do the activity? Okay. Okay.
Would you like to announce about Bebras, Sonia?
Yeah, Bebras, we still have time. November 15th. So we will come to Bebras also. So they solved one Bebras task today.
Yeah.
So
It is
yeah,
just
of
the
course,
teaser.
I'm always like no, but I'm going to show you. I will show you the Babras batch also. So all those who came to CTS have got the batch, right? Which reminds you that Babras challenge is from 15th November to 30th November. So, but we will do more Babras tasks in the next session. And another thing is for those schools which have not participated in Babras, it does not need that children need to have any prerequisite knowledge of Babras. Like when you solve the mug collection, you don't need to know. You basically needed basic math and logical reasoning, right? So as simple as that. So, okay. If we do not have questions, then we can close the session. Anybody wants to share any feedback? Anything you want to say? There is no chai, sorry. We have to make our own chai and drink. I showed you only Parle-G.
Sonia without chai.
There is no chai pe charcha that way, Kritika. Okay?
That was a very
Okay.
good example of Parle-G. You quickly, I mean, you went there and you got, I thought, where is Sonia? So there was a very good example. It was very good session and examples chosen. Really, I think they were able to connect it. What we want to say, how enjoyable and, it doesn't require any kind of a background as such. What is important is with the confidence that teacher has to carry to the classroom with ease that she can take. So I request everybody to take the activities directly to the classroom, and next time you should share your learning and outcome which you have experienced in the classroom. I think that will be the best thing to do immediately in the coming week.
Yeah,
Thank you
what
so
I'm
much.
saying is, yeah, just go and take
Do
it.
it.
See, you can
Do
take
it.
magic trick, you can do whatever. And I'm telling you that it is not important. You don't have to go slide by slide, right? Chalkboard and that's it. You don't need
Correct.
anything else, right?
Correct.
Even if you do that simple activity of saying, okay, how many children we have with A, how many with B, simple things. You can take it up to 5th standard also. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Geeta, for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye.
Thank you
We'll share
all.
the link on email for the next session also. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you, Kritika. Thanks,
Thank you,
Geeta.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Thank you, teachers.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.